السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Our lesson for today is about fractions. Let's go and read the objectives for this session. Well, at the end of this session, you should be able to first simplify fractions by cancelling common factors from denominator and numerator, subtract, add, multiply, and divide fractions. Solve equations by doing the same things to both sides and recognize the symbol less than, greater than, less than, or equal and greater than and equal, and then solve linear inequalities. But today we are going to highlight and concentrate on fractions, how to add, subtract, multiply, and divide fractions. Let's start from the beginning. Now, for numerical fractions such as 7 over 8, such as 7 over 8. This is 7 over 8. Now the number 7, which is on the top, the number 7, which is in the top, it's called numerator. And the number 8, this is 7 numerator, and this is 8 denominator. Let me change the color here. Okay, as you see, this is 7 numerator up and 8 denominator down. Now, in case when the numerator and the denominator, in case the numerator and denominator involves letter, then the fraction is called algebraic fractions. So when we have letters, variables up or down, then we call this algebraic expression, algebraic fraction. Now, two fractions are said to be equivalent. When do we have two fractions equivalent? I have a condition when they represent the same numerical value. Same numerical value. What does that mean? It means that, for example, I have 3 over 4. 3 over 4, this is a fraction. Now, if you use your calculator to find out how much is 3 over 4, you will find it is 0.75. But let's multiply both numerator and denominator by 2. So let's multiply here by 2 and also the denominator multiply by 2. What we'll get? 3 times 2, this is 6. 2 times 4, also 8. 2 times 4, 8. 6 over 8, if you use your calculator, you'll find that this is 0.75. So 3 over 4 and 6 over 8 are equivalent fractions. Why? Because they have the same numerical value. They have the same numerical value. Now, let's say for the fraction 16 over 24. Now, if we divide both numerator and denominator by 8, this means that you have to divide 16 by 8, 24 by 8. What we'll have? 16 by 8, it's 2. 24 by 8, it is 3. So it's 2 over 3. This means that 16 over 4, it is the same as 2 over 3. So they are equivalent fractions. 16 over 4 and 2 over 3, they are equivalent fractions. Now, we want to simplify or reduce each of the following fraction to its lowest term. Let's say 24 or 14 divided 21. How can I reduce or simplify? Well, I have 14 over 21. I know that 7 is a common fraction between 14 and 21. So I can divide both 14 and 21 by 7. So 14 divided by 7, it's 2, and 21 divided by 7 is 3. So the simplification of 14 over 21, it is 2 over 3. The same thing we can do for 48 and 60. Now we can divide by 2, we can divide by 6, we can divide even by 12. So if we divide both by 12, 48 divided by 12, then we'll get 4, and 60 divided by 12 will get 5. even if you use your calculator, you'll find out that 48 by 60 it equals to zero point 0.8, and 4 by 5 it equals also by 8. Now, again, another example. We have another example. Suppose that I have 2x over 3xy. Now 2x over 3xy, I can divide here by x, and also I can divide by x. So finally, you will have 2 over 3y. Okay, it's number D. 3a divided by a plus 3b. Now the only thing that is common between denominator and numerator is 3. So divide here by 3, and also divide the numerator by 3. So finally, you will have this is a over 2a plus b. Well, in example E, I have x minus 2 divided by x minus 2 plus x times x plus 1. Now, obviously, x minus 2 can be cancelled with x minus 2. What is left? 1 over x plus 1. So, in this case, the simplification gives 1 over x plus 1. Now it's your turn. I would like you to reduce the following terms: 9 over 15, 24 divided by 30, x over 2xy, 3x over 6x plus 9x squared. I have to pay attention here because we may have one more than one common factor here, and the same thing can be said about this. Okay, these are practice problem. I wait for your comment and your solution. If you need any help, please write in the comment, or if you want to ask about anything. Now, let's go and start discussing fraction. Well, we said fraction, it is any number can be written in the form of a over b, okay, where a is the numerator and b, this is numerator, and b it is denominator. Up is numerator and down is denominator. Let's first find out the first operation on fraction, which is multiplication of fractions. Now, to multiply fractions, you multiply the corresponding numerators and denominators, which means that if you have a over b times c over d, it's simply you are multiplying the numerators by each other and denominators by each other. So this is a times c, ac divided by b times d, bd. So it's very simple, direct, and there is no problem. You multiply numerator by numerator and denominator by denominator. Now, for division, well, it has also a very simple rule. To divide by a fraction, fractions divided by a fraction, you turn it upside down and multiply. Well, it's very simple procedure. It means that if you have a over b divided by c over d, first I'm going to keep the first fraction without any change. So a over b, it is here a over b. I did not change anything. Then I turned from division into multiplication. So now I change the operation from division to multiplication. Then I take the invert of the second fraction upside down, or the reciprocal of the second fraction. So instead of having now c over d, now it's d over c. So now I'm dealing with multiplication. So I'm going to go and use this rule. So it is a over b times d over c. So it will be a times d, numerator by numerator, denominator by denominator. So it will be ad divided by bc. As you see, it is also a simple rule. So for multiplication and division, it is very simple. There is no problem. It is multiplying numerator by numerator and denominator by denominator. Okay, now we want to calculate 2 over 3 times 5 over 4, numerator, numerator, denominator, denominator. So you multiply 2 times 5, this is 10, and 3 times 4, this is 12. Now, what if I have 10 over 12? Can I simplify any further? Yes, you can simplify. How? Well, I can divide by 2, and here also divide by 2. And finally, it's giving you 5 over 6. What about 2 times 6 over 13? Just I'm going to write 2 as 2 over 1. There's no change here, and there's no problem if you do like this. So again, this is multiplication, multiply up by up, down by down. So this will be 2 times 6, 12 divided by 1 over 13, 13, and I cannot simplify any further here. Now, this is A and B, and those two examples about multiplication of fractions. Now, C and D, it's about division. Now, 6 over 7 divided by 4 over 12. I'm going to keep the first fraction, change to multiplication, and take the reciprocal of the second. So I kept the first one, then it is multiplication. Then take the reciprocal instead of 4 over 21. Now it's 21 over 4. Then this is multiplication. Multiply 6 times 21 divided by 7 times 4. So this will be finally 9 over 2. Okay, what about half divided by 3? Again, I'm going to write this as 3 over 1. I'll apply the rule. It is half the same fraction, first fraction, then change to multiplication, then take the reciprocal, so it will be 1 over 3. So again, this is multiplication, 1 times 1, 1, and 2 times 3, it is 6. Okay, so now here we have two example on multiplication and two example on division. Now it's your turn. Now these are again without using calculator. I would like you to calculate or to find out the multiplication and division of those fraction. Okay, this is your practice problem. This is practice problem again. Solve and tell me about your solution. Write any comment or ask any question. Now, addition and subtraction of fractions rule. Well, to add or subtract, this is very important. Please pay attention for this. To add or subtract two fractions, you write them as equivalent fractions with a common denominator. This is very important to rewrite those two fractions or more than two fractions as common equivalent fractions with common denominator. Then add the numerator and keep the denominator as the same. Let's have a simple example. What if I have 1 over 5 plus 2 over 5? 1 over 5 plus 2 over 5. Well, I'll stop here until multiplication and division, and then I'll start a new video about addition and subtraction again. Uh, Please solve the practice problem sheet and write any comments. See you next video. Next video, I'm going to explain the adding or subtracting two fractions. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.